Hi everyone, today I'll be discussing a method of integration which is very commonly used, okay? The substitution method. Let us do an example straight away. So we need to integrate this ax plus b to the power of n, okay? Now let us solve for simpler cases when n is equal to 1. Okay, so when n is equal to 1, this is just ax plus b dx. Okay, so you can write this as integration a integral x dx plus b integral dx. Okay, and this is ax square by 2, this is ax square by 2 plus bx plus some constant. Okay, so it's this c, adding the c is very important. If you take n equal to 2, you can just expand it using your identity. You will get a square x square plus 2axb plus b square, and then you use the same method. Now what to do with a general power n? Okay, this n should not be equal to minus 1. That's the condition. Now here's where substitution comes in. You consider another function of x, okay, u. Now this u is just arbitrary. You can take any variable you want to, and define it as ax plus b. Alright, and after you do this, you will realize that this integral becomes u to the power of n dx. Okay, so the advantage is you don't need to expand this, you just need to integrate u to the power of n, but you still have dx, so this doesn't really mean anything. Okay, and you cannot pull u to the power of n out of this integral sign, because if you want to pull anything out of the integration, it must be a constant, and u is clearly not a constant. Okay, now how do we proceed? We differentiate both sides by x. Okay, so du by dx is d by dx, this entire expression. Okay, and this is a. Okay, you can easily check. Du by dx is a comes out, d by dx becomes 1, and b is a constant, so db by dx is 0. Now here's a very crucial point. Now in this case, you can think of your derivative as a fraction. Alright, yes, I said derivatives behave like operators, but in this case they can behave as fractions. Okay, you can, why, and more important, how? You can think of this du as a very small change in u. Okay, so changes in some variable, let us say u, are represented by this delta u. Okay, delta means a change in u. But if your change is very, very small, okay, infinitesimally small, we have discussed the concept of infinitesimals before. Okay, very, very small, but not 0 in a sense, then this becomes, okay, du. Okay, and similarly you can do it with slopes. Okay, so slope was du by dx, delta u by delta x. Okay, so approximately du by dx. Okay, a very small change in u divided by a very, very small change in x. Now what you can do is shift your dx, okay, onto the right hand side of this equation. So what I mean is du equal to a dx. Okay, I've shifted this dx, and this gives dx as 1 by a du. Alright, so you just replace dx with 1 by a du here. What you get is integral 1 by a u to the power n dx, okay, du. 1 by a du is dx, and now you can integrate. So a is just a constant, it goes out, and you're left with integral u to the power of n du. Okay, and this is the same thing as integral x to the power of n dx with the variables changed. So this will be u to the power of n plus 1 upon a times n plus 1 plus some constant of integration. Okay, and what is u? U is ax plus b. Okay, so just replace u with ax plus b in your final step. So you get ax plus b to the power of n plus 1 divided by a times n plus 1 plus some constant. Okay, and this is the integral of this thing. So this is our second example, integral e to the power of ax plus b dx. So this function ax plus b is in the exponents. So we do the same thing. Okay, we define u as ax plus b. Alright, and this means that du by dx is a, which gives dx as 1 by a du, and you replace everything in x in terms of u. So you get integral e to the power of ax plus b is u, okay, dx is 1 by a du, so 1 by a du. Alright, 1 by a goes out of the integral, you're left with integration e to the power of u du. This is nothing but e to the power of u. E to the power of anything remains the same. Okay, so e to the power of u by a plus some constant of integration c, and then finally replace u with this thing, what was u was originally defined to be ax plus b. So you are left with integral e to the ax plus b dx is equal to e to the power of ax plus b. Notice the exponent remains the same. A factor of 1 by a comes in, so the coefficient of x, okay, goes to the bottom. You can think of it in this way, plus some constant. Now let us do one last example. So we have this long looking integral, integration sine of ax plus b times cos of ax plus b. So what this means is a and b are constants, of course. You put in x, so first you will evaluate this function and then you will evaluate the cos of it. How do we integrate something like this? Now here's a trick. Whenever you see sine and cos together, okay, you can use your trigonometric identities. So what we'll be doing here is multiplying and dividing by 2. You will see in a minute why. So what we are doing is integral 1 by 2 times 2 sine ax plus b cos ax plus b dx. Okay, so 1 by 2. So what we'll do is remove only 1 by 2 out of this integral. We'll just let the 2 remain in this integral. Okay, 2 sine ax plus b cos ax plus b. Okay, now this thing should remind you of a trigonometric identity. Well, let u be ax plus b to make things a bit more clearer. Okay, so well, you know what, we'll do this later on. So we are left with 2 sine of something cos of something. Okay, so 2 sine theta cos theta, and what is this equal to? This is equal to sine 2 theta. Okay, this is one of our trigonometric formulae. We have derived this earlier. Okay, so theta in this case is ax plus b. So what we can do is 1 by 2, we can replace this entire stuff by sine 2 times ax plus b dx. Okay, using this result. Now we define u to be 2 times ax plus b. Okay, differentiate with respect to x, get 2a. So dx is 1 by 2a du. Just to replace them, so we get 1 by 2 integral sine u dx is 1 upon 2a du. So 1 upon 2a goes out, it gives 1 by 4a. Okay, and you are left with integral. Inside this integral, you are left with sine u du. Okay, this integration sine u du is minus cos u. Okay, minus cos u by 4a plus c. And what is u? U is 2ax plus b. So cos 2ax plus b plus c. This is your result of integration. Or you can, just move the two inwards if you are not comfortable in this form. So that's where the trick lies, okay, to pick up u in such a manner that you get dx as some constant into du in this form, so that you can easily integrate such functions. Now in the next video, I'll discuss some other methods of integration. Okay, stay tuned. Thanks for watching.